Here's Jake's freestyle above the water. As we see him going in, we've got a little bit of a crossover with his feet through there. We want to make sure that as he's on the starting block, he's actually really working on pushing all the way through, flexing those feet, flexing those legs as hard as he can so that we don't have that crossover. As we come up for that breakout, we need to make sure you're trying to swim just a touch sooner. You're a little late on that breakout, and because of your angle towards the surface, you've got all that water coming up with your arm. So be a little bit more patient on that breakout. As we see you going through, doing a fairly solid kick, you do have a little bit of that crossover that we're going to want to really work on doing, a little bit of side kick switch for 6 count so that you can really work on kicking through that rotation. As we watch you coming in for your turn here, doing a fairly good job of getting those feet around, but your heels are pretty far away from your rear end. So make sure as soon as your head ducks down there, get your heels tucked up. What's going to happen as your feet come over and you've got that 90-degree bend, you're just going to drive your hips straight down underneath the water, which is going to make it a lot harder to turn. So just get tucked up more in a ball and make sure you're thinking about really pushing straight back into the wall versus your feet coming up and over. As we see kind of you going through your stroke, you are finishing real early. You're kind of finishing right in front of that hip. You can get onto that side a little bit more, really finish through the back end of that stroke, which is going to give you a lot stronger stroke, not only up in front, but in the back end, and that's going to really give you that much desired speed. As we see you finishing the wall here, you're really got to make sure that you're getting onto that side. If we can get that rotation going on your normal stroke, that'll help with that extension as you're going into your finish. Nice job, Jake. Here's Jake's freestyle underwater. You see him coming in. He's got a pretty substantial angle going in, and then he's eventually going to come up at a pretty steep angle. We want to try and make sure that that's a little bit more of a straight line. We're going to have just a little bit of an angle down, but we're going to have a lot more extension underneath the water. Have a very good, strong dolphin kick. I'd like to see you, as we get to this phase, trying to tighten that up, make it a little bit quicker so we can actually work on trying to increase our speed a little bit. As we see those hands pulling underneath the water, we do have quite a few bubbles through there. That's one of those things that means you're not quite reaching out in front of you nearly as much. So once that hand enters water there, you're actually pressing down, going right into that pull. The thing we want to do at this point in time is actually reach a little bit further out in front of you, roll that elbow over, roll your shoulder towards your cheek so you can get into the high elbow catch at that point, and then push everything straight back behind you. That's going to give you a lot more power. That's going to give you a lot more solid water on your arm, and I can tell that you're pulling with just almost a straight arm underneath you. As you go through the turn looks pretty good. I know we can't tighten that thing up at camp just by working on trying to smooth out all those transitions between each step. As we go here for your breakout, your eyes are going a little bit forward. We want to make sure that they do stay facing down towards the bottom of the pool below you. Got an awesome, pretty steady, strong kick back behind you. We want to make sure that you do keep that up the whole time. So really work on trying to extend and reach out just a little bit further so that you can get rid of those bubbles on your hands. Doing a pretty good job of getting into that finish. I think you can get even just a little bit more on that side to really finish things up. Nice job.